never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
I'm doing good. Happy to be here. I've just distinctly noticed the chat has not requested that I have any babies. And I want to know what's up with
Partly
that.
so.
You are quite
I'm not. Am I not good enough that you want a copy of me? What's going on, guys?
Theo, where's the
I think the problem is, Theo, the chat assumes that you already have several out there. You just don't know about.
All right.
To slide it and it just is that what it, and the white part was extremely prominent.
I'm not judging you.
Hey guys, I just want to do like a quick little like update video. What's been going on with me? Just because a lot of things have been going really great. Been making a lot of progress on some of the projects I've been working on with my books. I got a campaign I'm going to launch pretty soon for an audiobook, so if you want to get on that, link to get on the email list, probably below wherever this is. But yeah, I got a lot of things. Just yesterday I finally got my car back from the repairs that have been going on with that. It's been really hard. In particular, it's been really hard in the family, especially with my kids and, only with one car and the financial issues. But, things have been, like I said, looking up lately, and, yeah, I think I should update you guys. But, well, before I get in, let me get the mail, something right here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, what's this? Phenomenal. No. 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 No! Damn it! Damn it, Vaughn! No! No, Vaughn! No! No! Damn you! Damn you! January 20th, 22nd, HeroesCon! I'm gonna bully you, Vaughn! I will bully you, Vaughn! No!
Is he really singing though, or is it one of those karaoke things?
Perfect.
Hey, everybody. Yeah. Which part?
The Vega reveal. That was
Vega reveal. He's taking off the mask, ladies.
Hell yeah.
You're welcome.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's Friday. We're finally back. Wednesday show's been on hiatus. Probably will be for the foreseeable future. We're going to replace that with something else later on down the road. We'll be making some announcements soon, but good to be back. And we're joined now with not one or two, but three special guests. We've got John from Pick Up the Sword Studio. What's going on, man? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you got going.
As you said, I'm John William Oschuk from Pick Up the Sword Studio, and I have a book up on Fund My Comic called Inker, and it's launching my epic fantasy saga, Trials of Gods and Men. And this is a project I've been working on for over 30 years. And Inker itself has been in production for the past 18 months, and it is 100% complete. And I just got my campaign video in today, and it has a couple of minor details for editing, but otherwise that is complete too. So now it's in full marketing promotional campaign season.
Right on, man. So now you just got the fun part of fulfillment left after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a pleasure, given that people are buying my book.
Right on, man. We're going to have a go. I took a peek at it earlier. It looks really cool. I like the concept, but we're going to get into that in a little bit later. And for the first time on the show, we got Smu The DJ. What's going on, dude?
Not much, dude. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I had to double check the time. I was like, I have to make sure that I'll make it on time because of a little fumble I had over the week because I was supposed to be on Devil's Show. And yeah, it's been a week, to say the least. So yeah, happy I could make it to this one. It's Friday, well, technically Saturday for me, but yeah, happy to be here.
Which part of the world you over on?
Actually, I'm from Germany, but my dad's Scottish, so that's where the unique accent comes from. So I was raised bilingual from a very young age. But yeah, I'm technically half Scottish, half German, but still living in Germany, but working on actually moving to the States because I can't wait to get out of here. Honestly, all the stuff you hear from the news and everything else, yeah, it's getting a little rough, you know.
Hopefully, it doesn't get as bad over here, but yeah.
What
part of the states you looking at migrating to?
Probably Texas.
Yeah, that makes
Texas.
sense.
That seems to be a pretty common choice to go to.
It's either Texas or somewhere close to Texas, so it's not like too far to the west, you know. But you know,
I hear Las Vegas is nice.
I could see myself living there, but then again, I'm not a gambling type, so
there's more to Vegas.
It's easy
more to Vegas than gambling.
Yeah, that's true.
There are whores as well.
Yeah. Do you like cocaine by chance?
No.
Speaking of who likes cocaine, last minute addition to the show and very welcome guest as always, JackTarLad. How you doing? When are you moving here?
Well, when it's English again. That's when I've been moving. When it's English
again. That's a very diplomatic answer.
No, but I'm okay. I don't say I'm a special guest, but definitely a late addition. I'm special, you know, special. But I am late addition. I'm doing all right, mate. It's good to be back on the show after a very, very long hiatus from the show.
Good having you back. And well, we got another returning guest. It's been a while since you've been on Society, but how's your week going, man?
I mean, it's gotten better towards the later end of the week. So, you know, I'm here. I'm back to streaming again. So, I mean, you know, we're still doing the thing.
Cool. We're always happy to have you on, man. Thanks for being able to pop in this week. So it's good having you. Also, you might notice there's like quite a few missing people. The holiday weekend, everybody's going and doing things. Theo's got a comedy show up in Yakima, Washington, somewhere where hopefully a few people show up for that. Prof is actually on his way here. So Professor Baby Daddy is going to be taking me out for dinner later this evening. I'm looking forward to that.
Ooh, gonna wine and dine and
fine dining.
There.
You gonna put out?
We'll see. It depends on how much he spends, where he takes me. You know, we're just gonna see where the night takes us, man. Mind your own business.
Make sure it's an expensive date. Just saying.
Well, just make sure you live stream it, and if it gets kind of very interesting, make sure it's behind the paywall.
Yep.
Oh, duh.
That's the way to go.
Only dads.
Only profs. Only profs.
Drunken, how's your week going, man?
Not too bad. Got to only do a 4-day week this week because I had a 3-day weekend last weekend and then right into another 3-day weekend. So besides it being a stressful week, been doing my daily 3-mile walks, and that's been keeping my mind sane. So
now we all need to do more walks, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to have a 3-day weekend. I decided to not do that. They've been giving me a lot of overtime at work, hence why the shows haven't been as consistent. And I got the opportunity to work and get holiday pay, so that'll really pad my next check. So I couldn't say no to that. It's like, I don't need a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, only fair, right?
Right. And we had Arza, but he's gone. So Battsauce, what's up?
Hey, I'm putting my Substack in the comments. You guys know I got books out, and a campaign that's going to be coming out soon for an audiobook. You're going to want to keep track of that. So link for my email list. Please guys, sign up for it. It will definitely worth your time, and it's free. So come on, dude. What are you looking at? Why are you not signing up for it? And also, sub to my channel. That's also in the comments. But yeah, pretty much it. Been a pretty chill week.
Just remember, Battsauce does not call.
Right to the shilling. None of the small talk.
Straight to it. I like it.
Gotta get it out of the way, man.
To the point.
Yeah. All right. Wow, that's the fastest we've ever done intros. I'm getting better at this. So we'll go ahead.
Well, you're doing better than the Hump Day Chinwag, that's for sure. Jesus Christ.
So I'll go ahead and pull up the first topic here. 1 second. And Selena's taking a little time off streaming in general, so she won't. So I'm producer list, so you guys just have to bear with me while I try to do all of this on my own. But before I pull up the first topic, let's say hi to the chat before I forget. First in, we got Weasel. What's going on, man? Let's see who else we got. We got Blue Eyed Scorpio here. What is up, dude? Yo. We got Emily Kruger, Master of Trivia. What is going on? Toasty with the Mosty. What is up? How you doing?
I've just been on her show.
Right on.
Literally just left it.
That's a fun show. Did she do the special dance?
The mustache dance. Yeah, Erica. Great one.
It's not a good show unless you get to that point. I mean, that's a show must.
I need to ask her permission, but I might use that as like a clip. If there's a dead silence, I'll just play that for a few seconds. We got Lawrence fucking Knight. What is up, Lawrence? How's it going, Larry? Man? Always good to see you. We got Isaac, who I think he just hit a milestone on his channel. Everyone goes,
yes, he did.
Sub over there. Hey, Horror with Nads. Nadia. Hey, Nadia, what is going up? Good to see you. Another fellow local in the chat. We got a new face here. Beak 600. Yes, I just hit beginning of last week. 666 subscribers. I want to get to 1,000, but I'm enjoying where it's at because it makes sense. We got Professor Baby Daddy. He's on his way up here. So good seeing you, man. If you want to pull up and you don't have all that background noise, you're welcome to join back up. And Master Oboe, greetings from the homeless shelter. So instead of 3 guests, can we have them do the fusion dance and become 1 guest? That'd be awesome to see.
Well, like Station out of Bill and Ted. We just like hug really hard and Station.
That's an idea. It's an idea for an intro, actually. Just morph like 3 people into 1 if you have only 1 guest.
Oh, I think I could do that, actually. Especially with some of that AI stuff that does.
AI
we'll be talking about that a little bit later. It is.
Yes, sir.
Selena is in the chat. Wish you were here. I really do, because I'm having to do all this by myself, but taking a little break for the time being. Well,
you'll be a pro in no time. That's the thing. If you do everything by yourself, you'll be a pro in no time.
Well, the thing is, I know
I've
how
got
to
a
do
feeling
it.
that if he loses his job and this YouTube thing doesn't go well for him, then living in Vegas, he's definitely going to be a pro.
Yep. Who's to say I'm not already? All right.
The more you know.
Well, we got the chat. Oh, let's go ahead and pull up the first. All right. From Bounding into Comics. How do you say this guy's name? I just know that
Adi
he
Shankar.
destroyed Adi Shankar, who is responsible for
Douchebag.
ruining Castlevania.
Yeah.
What else is on his list of things that he's ruined? Along with
Castlevania.
Castlevania, yeah.
His life.
He's got his name, like originally he had his name on some good stuff. But really mainly it's the what he did to Castlevania and then now Devil May Cry.
You know, I'm fucking terrified of the thought that he's gonna make a Blaze Blue TV show for Netflix. And Blaze Blue is very niche. It's like an anime fighting game, and he wants to do that next. I'm like, well, you can do that, but why would you?
Now,
after
I got
this
scared.
abomination.
I heard him mention Street Fighter, and that's one of my favorite franchises of all time.
I hope he stays the fuck away from it. I'm sorry,
Yes.
but please stay the fuck
Stays
away
away
from
from
it.
everything, dude.
Yeah, keep Street
I
Fighter.
hope
out
that
your
he
fucking
gets.
mouth.
I hope he gets in contact with a real Street Fighter.
The real Sagat, you say?
Any
the
of
Tiger
them.
Uppercut?
Yeah.
So, according to this article, he's unhappy with Devil May Cry 5 because it took the spotlight away from his Netflix show. I thought the franchise was dead. I thought I was bringing it back. Now,
I got
remember
news for
that
you.
quote.
You failed. You failed. You fucking failed, man.
I think after just the first couple episodes, that thing dropped off the map because nobody liked it. The focus was on his own version of the character Lady, who wasn't even remotely.
They didn't even call her Lady.
Don't call her.
What'd they
lady,
call
no.
her?
I remember some other name, but they didn't call her Lady.
Gotcha.
It is ma'am.
It is ma'am.
And let's see, the demons weren't necessarily evil. They were basically just immigrants.
But yeah, there was like demons and there was like they did some bullshit of like, oh no, there's actually this other race that used to be humans and now they're demons and now they're being like treated like slaves, and it was just fucking retarded.
Mm-hmm. And there's that real cringe scene with Green Day, American Idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one. And also, they went out of their way to make all the innocent demons look like very normal, and all the evil ones are like cartoonishly evil looking.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the ones that are like kind of not in the games. And yeah, don't get me started on the animation because I've seen the animation studio do way better things, and that's the same studio that made Avatar and Legend of Korra. You know?
Oh, really? Is it the same studio?
Right.
The same studio. Yep.
But isn't it a Korean studio?
Mm-hmm.
But it was run. The show was run by a Hollywood guy. I assume.
Yep.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep.
That would be the first thing I would veto if I ever have my story adapted to HBO or Netflix. I would not allow a Western American producer to showrun it.
Especially someone who doesn't play all the games or doesn't know the source material. Because this guy only played Devil May Cry 5 and maybe DMC Devil May Cry, the reboot, and that was it. And it shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this just goes back to the Henry Cavill thing with Witcher, right? Where he was an actual fan, and all of the other people operating it were just like treating it like a joke, where he took it seriously.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, at least this didn't get the Castlevania treatment. I don't know if anybody knows what happened in season 3 with Castlevania.
I stopped watching after 1. I wanted to give it a chance. I thought,
one
okay,
was good.
Season 3 existed.
Making the church evil, I guess for the time period it's
an overdone trope.
Sense.
Yeah.
Even that back then it was.
Alucard, Dracula's son, he gets pegged by a brother. He gets pegged by a man. And then he's also at the same time he's having a threesome with that guy's sister. Can't make that shit up.
That quality content, folks. Quality content.
Who the fuck is this quick?
Yep, exactly. That was my initial reaction. When I first saw
Alucard's one of my favorite characters. Let's do that to him.
Yeah,
this is intentional. When they do this to these characters, It's not, they're not doing it for the reasons that they say they're doing it, to be inclusive or this. No, they're doing it to shit on something that people that they don't like do like. Something not, that's all it is. It's just a big fuck you to anybody that plays the games, anybody that's a hardcore fan of these franchises. They just want to ruin it so that then they can point and laugh. That is basically it.
Yep.
Well, I maintain that it's just simply to take it away from the people who enjoy it. It's like just to specifically destroy the old ways and to pave the way for some new narrative. I've said it millions of times before. It's happening all over the entertainment industry, games, movies, TV. It's insidious, and it's there, and it's to stay, unfortunately, for the time being.
You know what, though? What's interesting about this, I think some of these IPs could be redeemed. If you look at the history of the fiasco of Bud Light, when they had, I forget the person's name.
It's okay. You don't have to remember it. But we know what you're talking about.
But then they partnered up with Shane Gillis, and they went back to what their brand was. And their stock went all the way back up. And it's like they're right back to business as usual. If Disney and Marvel and all these different Netflix just leaned into making content that it was traditionally created as, you would see it all come back. Like if Doomsday was actually great, it would probably make $1 billion, but it's not going to.
No.
I mean, it wasn't a really great marketing ploy anyway. You're already a shit beer. So why would you destroy the brand even more by including that person?
You go from Pisswasser to ultra Pisswasser at this point,
And now that's one thing, though. So I see what you're saying, and that's a definitely optimistic approach. But that's with something smaller. They have a lot more to lose. The smaller beer company. So it's easier for them to turn things around. And we've seen other companies do it, but I think with media, it's a lot different. There's too many tentacles involved. It's too intertwined with state approved narratives and everything else. They're trying to get the messaging is way more important. They're willing to lose a lot more money. We know that from Disney, especially.
Definitely.
And that's why Star Wars, Doctor Who, we just go down the list. Everything that has a big following, they have to try and inject it with this shit. I don't know if they can get away from people pulling the strings and forcing them to put that shit in there, regardless of profit. I really think the answer is like what you're doing. It's just creating new shit. It'll take a lot longer for the new shit to catch on. But it's going to. You got Vaughn Coleman doing his thing, Battsauce. You got Eric July, everybody else, Drunk 3PO, trying to put something else out there. Now I know I've messed. There's a whole bunch of other stuff out there. There's even independent games now are outselling or at least gaining more popularity than the AAA titles. So I think that's
the most boomer thing you've ever said. Indie games have been a major thing for a very long time.
I didn't say they weren't, you fucking asshole. I said that they're making a bigger impact now. They're getting a lot more attention.
Yeah. Especially with how AAA gaming is going at the moment. I don't blame people for actually turning to indie games even more now. It's far more rewarding. You get more bang for your buck mostly. The replayability is crazy in most cases, and the quality even. Like if you look at like Clay Obscure, for example, which was a game that was made by former Ubisoft developers and junior developers who made their first game, or having a SoundCloud composer who was just luckily found on Reddit. This is the kind of shit you need to promote more and push more, just to get some new media and actually get some new talents out there, just so they can say like, "Hey, we're here. We can do this." We need more of that, honestly.
Definitely, just quality content.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not that hard.
It's going to take a lot longer to get there, to get to where the Iron Age or whatever you want to call it. Just the independent stuff is outshining the mainstream. It's already kind of doing that, including in games. Arza, to my point, it's getting more attention now.
Yep.
Or at least it's starting to than it was.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's weird. Like, games are the exception to the rule. It must have something to do with the whatever marketing gatekeeping, maybe not gatekeeping, but it's like video games don't require the same level of marketing, I guess, in order to reach the mainstream. Where it's like a movie, how are you going to get that to anyone without
it's going to take a long
big
time.
budget marketing.
Exactly. It'll take like independent investors to go in and take a risk. But if they see a chance to get a return on that investment, it will happen. It's just going to take a lot more time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at like the example with Devil May Cry, right? Let's face it, it's gonna have the other later half season, and then it's gone. There's not going to be another season after this, unless Netflix is retarded enough to renew it.
Oh,
I hope not. I hope not, because I don't want to give Adi Shankar any more of a platform than he needs. And honestly, after watching that show, I hope he doesn't get anything after that.
I assume.
I really hope Capcom cuts ties with him completely.
I hope so too. Yes.
I assume like every person involved with any sort of Hollywood, he's nepo. Like, he's got to have a relative that's fucking rich as shit. So it's just like getting rid of him is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be like,
or you
Kevin
just made
Smith,
a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Definitely a possibility there.
I do think that some of this is healing, though, because we're seeing a lot of cancellations across the board. I think I saw that Marvel's thing was being cancelled, with the that ball fucking lesbian demon that likes to show her fucking
Erivo?
claws off, her talons off. Yeah, what's her fucking name?
Erivo, Cynthia?
Yeah, fucking that cunt. Anyway, so she was supposed to be she was being lined up for Storm or something in a new Marvel thing. Yeah, but I think I think that's been cancelled now. So, and there's lots of other things along the way like that. That they were in the pipeline, but now they're being cancelled. It's like, no, we need to take a step back. Ubisoft, for example, aren't they taking a step back from any well, pretty much anything, because they want to try and recoup some money somehow by not putting anything out there.
They're just desperate to get anything good now, honestly.
They're just going to re-release Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, I would rather play Assassin's Creed. It had,
sure.
I mean,
let me ask you.
Go on.
Let me ask you guys this just real quick. Has there generally been anything you would say is exciting from a mainstream level in video games in probably the last 5 years? Can you guys think of anything?
Hogwarts
it feels
Legacy
like
had a big buzz.
Yeah.
But then it faded out pretty quickly, though, didn't it?
No, it had a pretty good leg. It had the normal leg.
It faded out a
game.
normal amount, average.
Oh,
I would think it was
connection to the computer keeps going in and out and making the boom sound.
Oh, thank God! I thought it was coming from my computer. It's going insane.
It might be coming.
It's
from
probably me.
Oh, okay.
But nevertheless, in answer to your question, exciting.
Well, we had Cyberpunk 2077. We had Mortal Kombat 1, which had a ton of excitement.
You want to let
Arza,
you want to let Jack finish? Thank you.
So I like exciting. I don't know about exciting, but there have been some pretty successful games. We've had Don't Starve. That's been pretty successful. People have wanted to play that. We've been talking an awful lot about Doom recently, and they've had a bit of a drop off in terms of player count. We were talking about that on Ryan Roger Rathay's show before it got nuked the other day. We were talking about it on Monday, and I thought to myself that 30,000 peak consecutive players was pretty low, considering all the other games that have been and gone recently.
Yep.
But at the same time, they're charging like fucking $80 or something like that. You know what I mean, for a game. Whereas Don't Starve, it's nowhere near that price, is it?
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's a really affordable price. It's 2D. So there have been a lot of games that have been generally accepted and played by, you know, loads of YouTubers, and generally played and sort of acclaimed by, you know, the community. But excitement, no, I don't think there's been a lot of hype around a good game. There's been a lot of hype around shit games, but no hype around good games.
I mean, now, the last big game I can think of.
Baldur's Gate got pretty decent. I mean, there was some controversy there, but it kind of got a little overblown, and it was kind of easy to ignore for the most part. But a lot of people, and it maintained.
That was a small
it's still
company.
Doing pretty good. It hasn't dropped at all either.
People are still playing it. Yeah. Like that game had some real legs, and that game was really good. I mean, I was playing that during the alpha, like that. Like I know there's some shit with the character creator and stuff like that, but I mean, the mechanics thrown into that game and the storytelling and everything, the music, all of it, they put a shit ton of work into that, and then it paid off. It did a lot better than it should have for how the size of that company.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Depending on the actual quality of the game and depending on what the controversy is, I think will extend the game's life. I think Hogwarts, because of its controversy with that, extended its legs. Baldur's Gate extended its legs. But then you can see the ones that have the negative controversy, well, they're almost dead on arrival. Dust.
Yep. Well, to kind of go on that
Elden
point,
Ring was a pretty good game as well. Sorry to interrupt you there. Elden Ring.
Well, we also had both of the Kingdom Come games. Both of them were decently well hyped up and well received. We had Mortal Kombat 1, which was highly hyped. Like you said, Elden Ring, and Night Rain has the same thing. We have Space Marines 2, which is highly hyped. Helldivers 2, which is incredibly hyped up before it came out. Problem is, very few of these hyped games are really AAA releases. They're almost all AA releases. And I think that's kind of where we're trying to get to in this. The AAA industry is basically fucked. It's dead. But AA games that only cost, say, $100 million to make, give or take, are the ones that are going to be succeeding.
What was that drug dealer one that's like really low quality in sense of like graphics and that it's just come out? It's like a drug dealing simulator.
Schedule 1. Yeah.
There you go.
Schedule 1's by one guy in his bedroom, costs $20 to buy. Or maybe it's 30.
Exactly. So it costs fuck all to make. He's charging $20. Fucking loads of people playing it.
Well, I don't know. What did you and I play the other day? What did you and I play together?
Repo.
We had Repo. We had Content Warning. We had Lethal Company. All of these games cost $10, made by some guy in his bedroom. That's where the gaming industry is. That's where everyone's focusing. People are looking at these games they can quickly pick up and just as easily quickly drop because there's no sunk cost to it.
Yep. That's like the Among Us effect. You know, it's like when the pandemic hit, everybody was playing Among Us all of a sudden.
Well, that was just to have some fucking interaction with other people during that shit.
But it's also a very fun game.
It is.
It is. It's spawned that. You know, it's a good game when there's a ton of ripoffs like Duck Duck Goose or Goose Duck, whatever it's called. There's a few other.
And not just that, when it generates a fuck ton of memes as well. Like it is popular. You know, Among Us is a popular game, and it's generated a lot of quotes and memes, and I think that's been quite successful.
And I did look up Don't Starve. The base game is only $9.99.
There you go.
Wow.
You can there's a couple different ranges where you get other games from the developer kind of in the same style. The most it goes up to is like a whole bundle of like I think 30 all 9 games. That's $64, but you're getting nine games from that.
I don't want to be an asshole, Jack, but you did say it was a 2D. It's an isometric, not a 2D game.
When I say 2D, I mean that it's 2D graphics, not 3D graphics. Yes, you're right, though. It is isometric. So dead air.
It's going to be a little pedantic.
Right. I wanted to do that to
actually
isometric.
I had to say something funny. Okay.
Actually,
You failed.
Let me ask you guys this, because this was brought up earlier today, and I think it's pretty interesting. Is that there's a lot of people who are worried about kind of the rise in AI when it comes to like Hollywood, because you think to yourself, well, if it's getting this good, quote unquote, in the next few years, then Hollywood might be out of a job. Do you feel like the same thing could be said about the video game realm here in the next few years? If people keep advancing AI and the way that they're doing it right now, that maybe some of these video game companies may be looking at further employment in the future?
I don't know if it'll be
No.
unemployment, but it's definitely going to be a competitor, because we're going to get to the point where somebody can put in the prompts. They want a survival horror game with this kind of protagonist set in this kind of environment and X, Y, and Z. And within an hour, they'll have at least a semi, playable game to that effect.
In addition to that, I'm pretty sure that on top of it, you can then put in what kind of fighting mechanics. Do the fighting mechanics based on name previous game that you like the mechanics on.
I mean,
no, I think it's all. I think it's complete. Sorry.
Go on, Battsauce.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's completely overblown. The amount of money that it costs to maintain servers and all that stuff for AI is being completely underestimated. Not to mention all these like spectacular videos and everything we're seeing. It's extremely curated. And we already have had like AI videos, at least shorter period of time, one character, kind of less impressive stuff, but still visually like appealing. And you're not seeing in a widespread use at all. You're seeing, what happened?
Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay. I'll just stop.
Keep going. You find
well, anyway, so yeah, it's not as like widespread. It's like, No, we're cutting each other off. Just get
everyone talk at once.
Good lord!
Scream all at once.
Well, I guess I'll
I'll take over. I don't think that it's going to necessarily lose people jobs or that sort of thing. I think there's going to be a shift in what jobs people do, because unless you've got an AI that's going to generate an actual executable with a full, robust game, there are still going to be people that need to refine the code. For example, you've got engines now that can output 3D assets. You've got engines that can output, artwork, etc., etc. You've got AI engines that can put out the code and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be either, have you got an AI program that outputs all of the files that are needed to play a big game? Because if you've ever looked through a game folder, it's made up of all the assets and all the different coding bits and all that kind of stuff, and an executable, right? So unless you've got an AI machine that's going to, that's also a compiler, right? You're still going to have people that have to take all of the code files, put them into like a visual, not Visual Basic, but well, maybe I do mean Visual Basic, but like a Microsoft project or a fucking Unity project or, that kind of stuff, and refine the code, because it's not going to be 100% perfect, and you're still going to want to tweak it. Yeah, you're still going to want to tweak it. I've seen some Grok outputs that have done like asteroids, for example, there's been a game that was like pretty much complete in a way, where it was like a rip-off of Asteroids. But I'm betting that someone still had to take pages and pages and pages of code and compile them before it was an actual game. So I think it not necessarily going to put people out of a job, but I do think that it's going to shift people's jobs and the things that are necessary to do within the game industry.
You'll probably
So
see
more or
AI
less just
engineers.
Right. It'd be more of a
affiliated
tool, I
with the
think.
game. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was going to actually ask you, like, the same thing. Like, there was a whole bunch of, you know, screaming and yelling over AI art used in comics and graphic novels. That what's your kind of take on that? Is it just a tool that can be used sparingly, or maybe something just for concept art, or is it something that just you'd want to stay completely away from?
For me,
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. John.
So I'm a real traditionalist insofar as the final product goes. I couldn't imagine creating content with AI. Obviously, it would take the cost down, but at the same time, I don't think it would be as good. I don't think it could be, because you're missing that human soul that connects to the muse to create true art. But from the concept of doing concept art as someone who doesn't draw, but so I'm relying on words, I could totally see that being a tool. And just but it's funny, in the production of Inker, what I did was I had all my pages laid out that I would send to the artists, and I would have a little bit of text in describing the action or whatever it was, but then I was just copy and pasting images of like architecture or landscapes or anything like that. So I don't even need AI to do that. You know, I could take a screenshot of a fight from whatever show I want to do or I'm watching to be inspired by, or whether it's, say, a bridge in Venice or the Colosseum or the Himalayan mountains. You don't need AI to do that.
No.
You know, I think there's lots of panels or pages in Inker that's where the images came from. There's I forget the name. There's this region in China that has these crazy hills that are like really tall and rounded, and like one part of the story takes place in that setting. But you know, it wasn't AI. And then I mean, even from the writing side, I participated in a workshop here in Winnipeg that was led by this writer director named Steven Bernstein. And he won an Academy Award for the film Monster. And supposedly Hollywood has like 5,000 AI produced scripts, but they're all trash. Yeah. Because they just
so what's
can't.
Different?
Well, there's no soul to it.
Dude,
my question is,
so
what's different from normal?
Well, touche.
Well, to be fair on that,
writing.
most of the scripts start off good. It's once the studio executives start interfering and putting in their 2 cents. They're soul-sucking vampires that take the life out of everything. You can look at, if you read the original scripts that get leaked for some movies, you've seen they're completely different, so much better, had so much more like substance. A good example of that, The Last Action Hero. The original script for that was extremely different, way more heartfelt, everything. And then Arnold in the studio just fucked it off completely.
Yeah, we don't like that. We need to flip the script. Fuck you.
It needs to be more fun.
Give him a glass of eye.
Action.
It seems to be particularly bad at writing stories, from every example I've pretty much seen. As far as like for illustrations, I think Shadiversity has done a great job of showing like what a waste of time it is. Like he's like showing how he spends like 80 hours just to get like a like an image with a lot of flaws, which still needs to be like fixed. And you're like, bro, just learn how to do it. Like it would take less time to learn how to draw. I don't like you're wasting your time. Like what's going on?
I see the best thing for the AI art would just be for, if like John was saying, say you can't draw, but you want concept art to give to an artist who's going to actually turn it into something good. Here's what I'm kind of have in my mind. Make this, but better.
Yes.
And there you go. Also, it's great for memes and thumbnails.
Yeah.
Why not? All the time.
Yeah. Well,
no problem there.
Here's
So
the thing.
I just want to go on, Arza.
The general audience really hates AI. The general audience, the normies, they can't stand it. They despise the thing. Like I've got a lot of normie friends, and they all hate it for anything more than just the most light of use. So I really don't think it's going to be the kind of thing that I think studios are going to want to use it as soon as possible. They're going to dive head first, and all they're going to do is encourage more indie developers and creators to come and take their place. I think DC's going to use AI. I think Warner Bros. Is going to use AI. I think all of them are going to use AI, and that's going to make more people leave the mainstream and go over to Phenomenova or indie game studios or any of these small brand things that they would rather do because they'd rather support a human than a bot.
Yep. I don't know. I say studios, go for it. They already dipped their toes in it for Secret Invasion. It only took 2 episodes before people picked apart that opening, or like the whole thing was done with AI.
It also looked like trash, like complete like trash for AI. I'm not completely sold that the general audience hates it. I think there is a lot of the general audience just doesn't care, and they're like, "It's good." Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing about it too is just that we already see everyone moving more towards authenticity. That's why streamers have more people following them than ever. People are not watching the news because there's no authenticity. It's the reason why people are not going and playing some of these games or not going to movies, because authenticity. People want that authenticity, and they can just feel in their brains still at this point that AI is not right and not authentic.
Right. And I mean, this is the new stuff that's groundbreaking right now. Still,
it's very curated. It's very curated. You have to remember that.
This is still in that uncanny valley. It makes you uncomfortable because you can feel like there's something off about the people, everything. At least for me, it still gives me that kind of that weird trying to watch this. I couldn't watch this in a full-length format.
But this brings back to what Jack was saying. You always need a human to check what the program is doing.
Exactly.
And fix it in the background. Because if you fully trust AI and just throw it out there, you're going to have trash like the Secret Invasion intro. They just shit that intro out there and just said, like, yeah, that's fine. Just take that. Even the poster for the Thunderbolts was made with AI. If you look at the certain fingers on the poster, I think it was Sebastian Stan's hand on that poster is actually AI.
If I can find that,
because people are picking up upon that, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Like, here's my thing with AI. I kind of had this chat a little bit earlier today. It was that, obviously in the grander scheme of things, people are wondering, oh, how is this going to change news? How is this going to change entertainment, movies, video games? And to me, that's kind of the small potatoes of this whole situation, because this is kind of the way that I'm looking at it. Is that we all know there's going to come a day where this horribly backfires in all of humanity's face. And there's 2 ways that I'm looking at it. One is the way that everyone's looking at it, but then another way is something that really no one's looking at. I think we need to start looking into it. One is that obviously with the way that AI is set up now, it's not quite there yet, but it is progressing to a point where you can do a realistic looking video of, let's say, a world leader like Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-il or Barack Obama, where you can have them doing a variation of just like complete debauchery, right? And even though in the context of what the video looks like now, you can tell it's AI, it's still pretty good AI, where it's like you can almost believe that they're actually doing it, right? Which means that that's where we're at now. And I think that first one was like the older one, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, but this is where we're at now. So okay, where are we going to be like 6 months from now when we finally figure out a way to like iron out all of these issues? And the fear that a lot of people have here is that it's going to get to a point where they're going to present you a video that looks so real you're not going to be able to tell that it's fake. Which means that we have the video capabilities, we have audio capabilities. There can be a video in the next 6 months of Donald Trump declaring war on Russia, and you wouldn't 100% know whether it was real or not. That's kind of the worry. Now, here's where I look at it. I think this is the other side of the coin, is that because we're so close to blurring the line between what is real and what is fake, you also have to look at it from the perspective of they can, let's say a real video were to leak on the internet, something that's real, something that's not doctored or AI whatsoever, but because AI has advanced to such a degree, all of a sudden they'll tell you something that is actually real is actually AI, and you won't be able to tell one way or another. So not only we're going to essentially get to a point where people's perception of reality is completely thrown out the window, because essentially they'll be telling you that a fake video is real and you won't know how to differentiate the two, or a real video is actually fake and you wouldn't know what to do one way or another. And that has very, very dangerous complications going both ways. And I think that more people are working on, what happens if a fake video turns out to be real? What happens if a real video turns out to be fake and people aren't willing to believe that it's real? Because who knows, maybe you will find some very debaucherous videos out there. Maybe one of those Diddy tapes leaked from the FBI, or maybe something far, far worse than that leaks, and then they'll tell you, oh, don't believe that. That was AI. That Google did that. That's not real. And then it's like, but that's you. That's you, and that's your voice. And then how are you going to be able to tell?
And to piggyback off that,
well, sorry, I just want to add to that, and I do. So if I can get a little bit of time after you've said your thing as well, Aaron, perhaps there needs to be some kind of safeguard in the sense of AI companies need to be able to put some kind of checksum into generated content, some kind of identifier. That whereas that is going to be extremely difficult, because all you got to do is take the AI generated video that's got the checksum in it, run it through fucking Adobe Premiere or whatever, and then output it again, and now it no longer has the checksum. So there's got to be some kind of safeguard that has an like a forensic identifier in it, because otherwise you are going to run into that problem most definitely. What was you going to say?
Yeah. Now, and to piggyback off what Society was saying, he's 100% right. Now, one of the scary things is, and I'm going to get a little tinfoil hat here, but DARPA's always has technology at least 5-10 years ahead of the public. So the government already has something better than the AI we're seeing. They just have access to it first. That's the way it's always been. And then eventually, once we have something, oh, wow, look at how much better this is. Haha, the government already has something 100 times better, at least 10 times.
Not always.
More often than not, especially with technology.
So I just want to give my 2 cents on this whole AI imagery and all that kind of stuff. So realistically, it's just another abstraction of a level of abstraction of technology. Think about what graphics were like back in the 1970s compared to what they are now. We've got, it's just another level of abstraction of technology. So do you think that, like back in the day when the Commodore 64 was around and people were, writing a code that could generate an image on the Commodore 64, it's exactly the same sort of thing, except that now the level of output is a lot more high fidelity. So now all you got to do is type in actual words and a prompt, and it outputs an image. So back in the day, you had to do it all in machine code, and then it went up a little bit, like the level of abstraction went up with programming languages. You now have like functions that do the thing that you had to type in all that fucking machine code for. Now you've got a single command that does all the things that you want that little bit of code to do. And I guess the point that I'm making is it's a tool that is there to be utilized, as John was saying. It's good for concept art, etc., etc. Someone made the point about Shad going over it, and I will say that, not that I agree with Shad 100%, but there is an art form in itself of creating properly weighted prompts that can output specific results. There is an art form to that of like not necessarily the art that it outputs, but the art of generating a prompt that does what you almost precisely what you want it to. Now, the other point that I want to make about it is AI art only puts more value into real artists' work, like human hands. If you can just type in a prompt and output something in like 20 seconds flat, do you know what I mean? That's got way less value to it than someone actually taking the pen and paper and putting the human element to it, you know. So as far as I'm concerned, if you can output something that's AI, right? Well, yeah, you can charge someone money for that if you like, but providing that you can prove that you've actually taken a pencil, taken some paints, whatever, you can charge way more for that now. Because there's a human element to it.
That's an excellent
and that's
point.
all I've got on it.
I mean, I think it's the image generating for photo bashing purposes. Yeah, it'll be decent for that. I mean, on a more hopeful side with AI, I think we are all underestimating humans' ability to pattern recognize, and I think down the line, yes, the AI technology is going to get better, but our ability to recognize AI is also going to get better. And I mean, look, the retarded hot chick tricked us all, which is also kind of really retarded of us because people with Down syndrome don't have normal shaped bodies as part of the Down syndrome thing.
I thought everybody knew that was that's just a face. I thought everybody knew that was a face.
Dude, that tricked so many people.
Thought it was real.
Everyone thought it was
funnier.
Real. Yeah, but
funnier, sadder.
I mean, everyone's seen like an AI video themselves or image and like looked at the comments or even had family members show it to them and not notice that it's AI. But it's like, just give them some time. The brains will pick up the pattern recognition. I mean, it's just like CGI looked so much better back in the day.
I want to add to that by saying I'm already like that with these fucking AI generated songs. That like
I can't stand like AI songs anymore. Like
you can like I've got a very sensitive ear to certain like frequencies. I can actually hear the roboticness of it, but not only that, the lyrics it generates, it's very general, it's very run of the mill. It
just sounds like produced music.
No, but it's not just that. It's like when we were talking about the script generation and the storytelling and that sort of thing. It uses specific words because it's a weighted model. Do you know what I mean? It's been trained on a certain set of media. And so it can only output what it knows. It can only output what it's been trained on. And they're all the fucking same. Like, you listen to any of these Suno songs, yeah? They're all using generally the same sort of pattern of lyrical sort of prose and whatever. And it's all very samey. Even though the music sounds like one song sounds like a rock song, one song sounds like a fucking reggae song, the pattern of lyrics, it's exactly the same. And the choice of words that they use.
Yep, it's just Nickelback.
Hey, Nickelback has some good songs.
No, but
I mean, especially the music's definitely more. It's a novelty. It's like, oh, that's neat, and then you hear you hear so many more, and you don't want to ever hear it ever again.
I mean,
again, it's that lifelessness it's that lifelessness that's in the music. There's no heart. It's the reason why I still tend, when it comes to music, to listen to actual rock and roll bands and stuff like that are actually playing instruments. All this electronic stuff I cannot get into because it sounds so fake. It doesn't sound good to my ears. And what was a big takeaway was actually the digital processing they started doing with auto tuning and everything else. The whole point, and getting everything in time. And it's like, no, the good stuff is the 70s rock and the 80s when they're sitting there and they're playing the actual music. So you want to know what? The timing does kind of shift just a little bit, but it feels organic. It feels real.
Oh, that's the talent
to it.
There are certain things that are going to be difficult to sort of tell the difference between. Images are going to be one thing. The AI trained, because I've been doing an awful lot of AI training with celebrity voices. So I've been taking lots of interviews of celebrities and training, repeatable voices, basically. And but even still, when it outputs it, it's very robotic, and you still need to do a little bit of mixing and mastering of it in a to actually really trick the ear into believing that was that person who said it. But I still think that like the AI voices, like the cloned voices, that could be a little bit of a worry. And AI generated images. But videos, I'm not convinced. Coding, I'm not convinced. Songwriting, I'm not convinced. And script writing, as in storytelling, I'm not convinced at all.
Yep. I mean, we had a perfect example of
this
the
was
AI
totally
voiceover.
not AI generated.
Jesus Christ.
But I see nothing wrong with that. That's exactly how I picture Vaughn, at least in my dreams.
I mean, we had a perfect example of the AI voice thing just fairly recently, didn't we? With Fortnite using James Earl Jones' voice for Darth Vader. That was fucking terrifying, though.
That's my other.
He was saying, I was like, oh my god, wow.
That's my other kind of fear with the whole AI thing, and it's not really like my big fear is obviously like end of the world type stuff, but like even on a smaller level. It's going to get to, and it's going to happen if it hasn't happened already. People are starting to essentially resurrect their loved ones by essentially having digital images and digital voices of their loved ones. So they speak. So it's their way of like bringing their loved ones back from the dead. And we all know Hollywood's already done this by bringing actors who died 30, 40 years ago back from the dead so they can reprise role in Star Wars and stuff. It's like, so it's going to get to a point where we're going to quite literally start resurrecting dead people digitally, and it's going to be very, very uncomfortable for a lot of people when we start doing that, especially en masse, because at that point it's kind of like, okay, where exactly are we going with this whole situation? Which is why I say, like, look, it's great to speculate about how AI could be a tool to help us with business and work and animation and production, stuff like that. It's like, that's great and all, but I'm still looking at the bigger picture, and I don't see this ending very well, especially in the next 18 months.
Talking about resurrecting people from the dead, I actually did it myself. I'm a necromancer. I took a photograph of my nan and my granddad, and I ran it through that, like, what's it called, Halo UI or something like that. Yeah. And it animated their faces again, and I showed it to my mom, and it made her cry, but not because it was like anything bad. It was like she hadn't seen them move in so long because they're both fucking dead. So all she's got is these 2D static images, and to actually make them animated again and to see them moving their faces and smiling, and even though it's not 100% because the AI didn't know how they actually smiled or how they contorted their faces, so it wasn't 100%, but it was still convincing enough, to make someone feel emotions about it, to feel far more deeper emotions than just looking at an image.
I mean, remember when the best thing we had to worry about was holograms of dead musicians? Freaking holograms. And now AI is just taking over.
Tell you what, Tupac is gonna headline Madison Square Garden again in a couple of years.
Yep, with Biggie Smalls.
Yep.
So
all I know that's not far fetched at all. There's virtual fucking characters that people
Hatsune Miku
line. Yep. The line up for that thing.
Oh yeah, this video is, oh my gosh.
So I pulled up some of the Darth Vader AIs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Might be fun.
Some of them are fucking terrifying. In a way,
they're phenomenal. You have to do a lot of trickery to get them to say what you want them to.
Hopefully, it doesn't say anything. This is on YouTube. It should be fine. Let's go for it.
Right now, Doom Slayer, you speak of a goat as if it holds strategic value. Do I need to vaporize another sign? Bombardilo crocodilo, bailarina capuchina, e por fin, tralaleiro, tralala. Ah, e tenho tum 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 sahur. Are these Sith incantations I am unaware of? Show the others what a family guy can do. These skibidi toilets, are they some new form of rebel alliance? I trust they pose no threat to our mission, apprentice. Or farming. Are you suggesting I concern myself with trivial aesthetics while our enemies prepare for... Perhaps your understanding of the fourth, edging and gooning, freaking, fucking, such vulgarity does not become you. Not allowed. Haktua, Spider-Man. Now, 3, 1 4 4 1 5 9 2 6 5 3 5 8 9 7 9 3 2 3 8 4 6 2 6 4 3 3 8 3 7 9 5 0 2 8 8 4 1 9 7 1 6 9 3 9 9 3 7 5 1 0 5 8 2 0 9 7 4
404 error not found.
Darth Vader, is the low tape or fade meme still massive?
Pause it a second.
Your fascination with fleeting trends.
Yeah.
Right. So, look, even though you can hear that it's James Earl Jones, it's Darth Vader's voice, yeah, and it sounds like the actor. It still sounds robotic.
Yeah.
It still
it's because it's Darth Vader.
No, but you know what I mean, Arthur. It still sounds like
there's no emotion.
Like I said,
it's not
what you
human.
look at when you look at the videos and you look at the audios now, you can tell that it's not real now. But like I said, this is where we're at now. It's only going to progress as time moves forward. So like I said, how's it going to be in 6 months from now when they find a way to even out all those kinks and now it can really start sounding like that person or really start looking like that person?
So what I'll say to you is it's already there because what that AI voice model is using is like a text-to-speech voice, which is already robotic in itself. However, the voices that I've been training, if I actually do the voice acting myself, and then I convert my voice into the AI voice, it's almost indistinguishable. So we're already at that point. But like I've proven previously, I still have to try to match the original actor's voice in order for it to sound genuine. If I just talk in my normal voice, it sounds like them talking like me. Do you get what I mean? So I still have to try to do accents. I still have to try to match their vocal tone and etc. etc. But if I do the actual voice acting, it's almost indistinguishable. Didn't I show you, Smu, when we were in the back rooms of Chinwag? Of what was actually possible. I sound like Patrick Stewart and fucking Christopher Lee and all these famous stars that you know of, and so it's really not that far fetched to create a genuine sounding voice. The issue is that it still sounds like it's been output by an AI, and you still have to tweak it, like changing the equalization of it and the mastering and etc.
It's that human involvement that you still are relying on to make it truly authentic. But that's like back to the video game conversation. If you just had a bunch of AI engineers working on it, you could probably make something along the lines of like Skyrim times 1,000, because they could just create so much so quickly. And ultimately, I think it'll just save the companies money, but you'll still need people. It's just that it'll be a different job.
So here, if you guys watch our Tuesday show, which is the bar room every Tuesday night, our intro is literally Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch in the MCU, doing the Vincent Price impression for the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo intro. So it's going to play just a little bit of it, just to kind of get the point.
That's oddly specific.
This is a warning to all living mortals. That who shall ever open this chest of demons will release 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth.
Some people are on here too.
Okay, cut it. This isn't going to work. Let's try some nostalgia bait.
And then it just goes on there. But I was just going to give you a small little sample of essentially what we've been doing on that show.
Yeah, and this is just what's available to the public. So
yeah, right.
I mean, wasn't there like a whole thing about Bruce Willis when he got diagnosed that his family already signed like his likeness off to like companies so they can use it down the line when he's dead? And that thought
it's gonna happen.
Already ridiculous, you know. But
I think I heard that story. But then other people are adamant that you don't, right? Like the guy who played Tarkin in Star Wars, his family was
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing, of course. His family was adamantly opposed to it.
Yep.
But I mean, it all comes down to the individual, I guess. Like
it all depends on how much they can pay your family or your estate to use your voice.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's money talks. That's the sad reality of things. But I mean, we had Richard Nixon and JFK come back for a Call of Duty game, so that's not out of the picture, you know. I mean,
Nixon's back.
Nixon's back.
Nobody's pushing Nixon around anymore.
That's it. You're on my list.
I always had to think of Nixon from Futurama.
Futurama, yeah, dude.
I'm gonna bite you now. Oh man.
I mean, I could show you some of the voices, but I wouldn't want to take up time on the show. I could just load up the instant
I'm
changer.
liking this conversation. Like I said, the topics are just there if we need them. I'm liking this conversation. So yeah, if you got something you want to show, go ahead.
It just means I have to swap around some of my audio inputs and turn it on. Give me a sec.
While you're doing that, the one thing that is really entertaining with us being completely generated by AI is fake interviews with athletes after they've been eliminated from the playoffs or after a bad performance. Like there's one of Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs who's just been getting dragged by the media for being so bad in the playoffs. And it's him sitting there and it looks real. Like, and it's like the voice is on point, relatively speaking. And he's like, yeah, I'm an absolute dog shit trash can. Leafs should fucking trade me for a bag of tape. Blah, blah. And you're listening like, what the fuck is happening here? And then you realize like, oh, right, this is fake.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite shows on YouTube. One of my favorite shows on YouTube at the moment is called Jovakeen. It's basically Joe Biden in Skyrim. And it is some guy who put on a dress and has Biden's head on him, and he just walks around Skyrim talking a whole bunch of shit. But the AI he trained to use the Biden voice is Chef's Kiss.
That's pretty funny.
Well, you have a lot of these different AI follower mods for Skyrim now, where they actually use your mic input and they'll respond based on the situation, and you can tell them to do things, ask them to do things. There was one overhaul mod for Skyrim that actually replaced every single NPC with an AI, and every single NPC has its own personal memory, so it remembers everything you've said to them, everything they've seen you do. It remembers all that, and the NPC will treat you accordingly.
Yep.
And what's this society?
So this is kind of a long-standing issue here. So I'll rewind it a little back here in case you guys aren't fans of pro wrestling. So I believe it's been 2 years now officially, but 2 years ago, Vince McMahon sold the WWE to TKO, which is essentially a new entity that is owned by Endeavor. It basically takes the WWE and the UFC and takes it into one big, I guess, combat sports entity. I guess that's what they're calling it here. But so over the course of the last couple of years, there's been a lot of changes, but significantly this year, the point of big contention has been that TKO has basically dramatically increased the prices for WWE events. Like, keep in mind, you're still watching pro wrestling. Like, it's still scripted programming, right? Like, you're not watching real fights, but they are essentially charging ridiculous prices for these big shows. They just had WrestleMania, which was about a month ago now. WrestleMania, a lot of the tickets for that show was anywhere from 10 grand to 30 grand. Some people paid 40 grand for certain packages. Absurd amounts of money, right? They were in Las Vegas. I think they were literally in Las Vegas the same weekend you guys were. So it was like, I'm not sure if you guys noticed a lot of wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
But so So there was the big thing about, how WWE is essentially pricing out their fan base. The real fans aren't, going to be able to go to any kind of WWE event soon because of the prices. So earlier this year, they had announced that, hey, by the way, New Orleans, you're getting WrestleMania next year. So 2026 is going to be your year, WrestleMania. Well, they just made an announcement yesterday that, oh, hey, by the way, New Orleans, you're actually not getting WrestleMania this year. Turns out we're going to go back to Vegas next year. So, and this is the word, WWE made so much money off of those insane ticket prices for last year's show, they realized there's no way that they were going to make that same money in New Orleans for next year. So they literally dumped New Orleans, who they already told was going to get WrestleMania, and say, you know what, we're going back to Las Vegas because we're going to gouge you motherfuckers for a second straight year. And this was Triple H, who is the current head of creative for WWE, essentially explaining to you, hey guys, I know you were expecting our biggest show of the year that we literally announced to you guys like 4 months ago, but hey, guess what? You guys are going to get a consolation prize, which is essentially Money in the Bank, a B pay-per-view that you guys will get sometime in the next, 18 months. Who knows at this point? But that was the counter announcement. So now people are basically asking themselves, is TKO ruining the wrestling experience for people? The same questions have been asked about the UFC. The UFC, people have been complaining that the cards are not good, yet the prices keep going up. And here we're kind of seeing low-key a corporate greed situation happening where guys who are, let's be honest, they're run by Hollywood executives are saying, hey, we can squeeze as much money out of these marks as we possibly can. And now people are starting to ask themselves this question. It's like, have they eventually ruined our company at this point? And I'm trying to figure out where. I would say, yeah, you guys, when you paid those ridiculous 5-figure costs for tickets earlier this year, you basically let them know, it's like, okay, if they'll pay for
We're
this,
okay
then
with this. Yeah,
exactly, they're okay with it. So yeah, we'll just keep bleeding them. And like I said, $15,000 is going to be the new average ticket price to go to WrestleMania now. It's going to be essentially the Super Bowl, where you can't get into the door at the Super Bowl for like less than like 20 grand. And this is where we're at now. And not only that, it's worse because at least the Super Bowl is a real-ish sport. I mean, this is like pro wrestling. So,
well, this isn't just an issue with pro sports wrestling. It's also an issue with concert ticket prices for just any major band that goes and plays in your city. The average person can't afford to go. Average person can't afford to go to Disneyland, can't afford to go. Universal Studios, the only outliner that's a little bit affordable for the average person, but all of this shit is, they're pricing out the middle class for all of this stuff, and their only target demographic is the extremely wealthy. And then you've got, the influencer types that might get a free ticket to go, that could actually afford to go on their own anyway.
And that's exactly what they did here.
New.
And this is exactly what they did here, because WrestleMania this year, it was like, oh my God, Macaulay Culkin's here, and Dana White is here, and I show Speed that guy, he's here too. And then it's like, look at all these famous people who are here. And then it's like, there's this sucker over here who spent 30 grand on 2-night tickets for WrestleMania, the event.
That's wild.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah,
UFC too, right? UFC is crazy expensive.
Oh yeah,
the main
UFC is crazy. Yeah,
the big event.
I mean, UFC is doing an event here in Atlanta. I think sometime next month. The cheapest get into the door tickets for that event right now is $230,
and that's
not even like a big card,
right? Yeah.
No, it's not.
Wild.
Crazy.
Jack, did you get the voice? I'm curious about this. Okay, he's still working on it, but so we could go back into.
No, I'm not working on it. This is the voice of Patrick Stewart. Hello there.
It's convincing.
Sounds like Ewan McGregor. Hello there.
It does sound a little bit like Ewan McGregor.
This is totally artificial intelligence.
Yes, we're not Skynet. We're not out here to kill you. We swear.
But yes,
this is like your audio.
Patrick Stewart and. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but this is the voice of Patrick Stewart when I'm putting the voice acting on. And now, if I just talk in my normal voice,
you
can hear that it's completely different.
What the?
This is basically like, you had like an AI presentation, but then your audio file got deleted the night before, and now you don't have time to recreate it, so now you just winging it and hope they'll call you out on it.
Actually on the Zoom call pretending to be Matthew McConaughey, and I deleted the files. Fuck!
Oh, man. But,
You.
So, do we have,
You have stood up against evil.
Oh, that was you,
And Alex Jones.
Yeah, it's Alex Jones.
This one's Sean Bean. Bastard.
How does it feel to die in every movie you in, Sean?
Oh, wait, crikey, mate! I'm David
Die
Beckham.
in every movie,
I don't die.
but I'm fucking dead.
I mean, I got the voice mod app that has AI incorporated in it, and it's always trash. Like it takes a second, but to load.
I mean,
Yeah,
Discord
that's
introduced
surprising.
like
This is
voice
supposed to
filters.
be done like a delay.
Hello.
Oh, who was talking?
Do I sound like a downscript at all?
No.
No. Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, now it does. A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, I turned it off. Too
It's the
late.
best.
Takes forever to load.
And now you sound
Yeah,
like
you can-
Battsauce. So
Yeah.
Hey.
it's
Hey,
that-
turn on the Kermit the Frog voice changer.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
There we go. That one works. All right.
However, now this is Judi Dench.
That's weird.
Hello there. How are you all doing this evening?
Oh my god.
They all still kind of just sound like you, though.
They do,
Kind
yeah.
of.
It just sounds like you're
But I
doing
can't
voices.
just do everyone's fucking voice, can I?
Why the hell
Now
not?
Judy's getting a little catty.
Yeah.
I'll say it doesn't have the
Wow.
robot likeness to it too much, so like that's
Mm.
pretty impressive. But it
Well,
doesn't
it really
sound
depends
legit.
on how long you train it for.
Okay, that's creepy.
It is creepy. Yeah, it's unsettling. That's for sure.
You know what kind of videos I also love? The Alex Jones's Space Marine videos, like or the Warhammer videos. I fucking love those. Or somebody added his voice into Doom Eternal, and he's like, "Tell me what to do, Lord."
Oh,
Then he's like then he's going on about Hillary Clinton being a goddamn demon and all that stuff. It's freaking funny. There's clips all over the internet of that one. It's uncanny. But yeah, AI, eh?
This is your boy, Charles Dance.
So the moral of the story is that AI is going to be the downfall of all technological advances within the next 2 years. I just hope you guys are prepared for it.
And
Well,
Terminator
you could say
warned us.
that, yes. I mean,
Well, it goes back to the meme that liberal hive mind. I think it was the one that showed it, and it's the whole point. Sarah Connor sitting there smoking a cigarette, and it's her looking at all of us using AI for everything. I mean, it's yeah, we're just welcoming in the age of AI and the machines eventually trying to take over.
Well, I mean,
don't
have you
know.
seen the college students all making the statements that, like, it's ableist and bad to prevent you from to ban AI because so many students can't complete the assignments without it now?
Well, those kids are going to take
Oh,
the mark
wow.
of the beast one day. So, I mean, they really don't
That's
matter
the actual
in the grand-
argument that's being made.
Yeah, they're all
That's
lazy
insane.
communists.
Yeah, I mean, if stupid kids can cheat, then they're going to find a way to and try to get away with it for as long.
oh, hang
Isn't it
on.
like the story breaking at the moment that like college students are basically suing their teachers for using AI?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because they find like citations in like the works of their professors, and they're like, "Hey, you fuckers used AI. You told us not to use AI. What gives?"
I've heard about this.
Oh,
But it's literally
wow.
like the students are creating papers with AI, and then the professors are reviewing it with AI. So it's just AI reviewing AI at this point. So like
Oh my
nobody's
God.
going to be able to think. There's no critical thinking. It's just a
fucking
bunch of
funny.
mush. It'll be what's that movie? with
Wait, so it's just normal
robot in the
college?
future. Well, yeah. it's
Oh, what is it called? Wally.
Wally, yeah, except even worse.
Do you know what?
Huh.
Do you know what I've just noticed?
You haven't turned it on.
He never turned on. He never turned
Yeah,
on.
that's a lot. I'm like, this is fucking shit.
Hold on. Pause. We were mocking you for like a good 10 minutes. You only just now realized it wasn't on.
I thought you were doing the
fucking Jesus.
What do you mean I don't sound like Judi Dench?
I was with Iron Man. I wasn't thinking it was.
I thought this was
We were
like
just rolling with it,
performance.
Jack.
I thought you were
Right.
doing a skit this whole time. I'm like,
No. Right, I'm gonna rerun it, you bunch of bastards.
It worked in the skit. Turned out I'm just actually retarded.
Look, I was just trying to be nice by not saying anything.
we need the Alex Jones clip.
I had the wrong mic input selected, so you were just listening to my fucking mic the whole time.
Fuck's sake, Jack.
it's hilarious.
Oh, that's amazing.
That bit is now funnier now knowing that you didn't know that we didn't
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah, I was kind of
That
thinking like
is the funniest shit.
I was just thinking like this is kind of weird. I'm surprised we're wasting time on this.
I didn't have the heart to tell you that it's just like
You
the
bunch
worst
of
thing
bastards.
ever.
I did
thought
say
you
it
were
just sounds like
fucking
you.
with us.
Yeah.
I did say
Patrick
that.
Stewart now, like
I'll
okay.
I can't believe that you fucking just let me carry on like it. You bunch
We
of
were mocking
bastards.
you for like
thinking-
10 minutes.
I was just thinking, maybe the program is having some like problems in the background, but we just roll with
No,
it.
I really thought he was just like fucking with it. It was just a big troll, a joke.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
The chat's going fucking crazy.
Oh,
Well, he's really putting that tar in his name, huh?
sure is.
Oh, well, now we get to hear the real thing, so I am excited about that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought this is just the long.
I feel like it's going to be a
long
letdown now, though.
game.
Yeah.
It can't be.
You set yourself up
It's
for
like,
failure,
oh, you
Jack.
do sound like him. It's not as funny.
Well, I mean, it just adds to the belief that all British people sound the same. So, I mean,
I thought that was his joke he was getting on.
The Judi Dench one was the best because it was.
Hey, now does it sound like Patrick Stewart?
No, it just
little
sounds
bit.
like a robot. You sound like a generic text to speech.
It's more like Patrick Stewart.
You sound like a queer.
Well, what's new?
And clipped.
Coming up next on the BBC.
Coming up next on the BBC, Arza shows his butthole.
there you go.
That
sounded
sounded
like-
a lot like him.
Yep. Acting.
Yeah,
Sounds like
so
a BBC's
the bit
force.
before where I was just talking into the fucking mic and you guys didn't even fucking tell me,
We did tell
that's
you eventually.
completely different to this.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
I'm not
a
gonna
long
lie.
connection.
I'm not gonna lie. Your actual Patrick Stewart impersonation is better than the robot one.
For sure.
Let's hear one of the other ones.
Let's hear Judi
Yeah, you really have to do that Judi Dench one.
The Judi Dench one's gonna sound a bit fucking uncanny.
Oi, mate, I'm Judi Dench. Yeah.
So this was the Sean Bean one.
Say
You
winter is
bastards.
coming.
Yeah, it does sound a
Winter
little
is
bit more like-
coming.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's pretty convincing.
Take the hobbits to Isengard, Frodo.
Yeah. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
That's not what the ring is for.
Take my ring, Arza. There you go. I've lowered the pitch a bit on it now. Sounds a bit more like Sean Bean, doesn't it? Bastard.
Fucking hell.
It also sounds a little bit like who's the old British skit comedy with the old something, the fish guy that has the always trying to make love with the fisherman. You know what I'm talking about? Like
What was that again?
I forgot his meds again.
I'm blanking on that.
It's
one
an
right now.
older skit show.
Monty Python?
Wasn't Monty Python?
No.
It almost sounds like a Monty Python skit.
So this is the Judi Dench one.
Oh, that sounds much better than you
Doesn't
sounded like
sound
just a
like Judy.
generic. You kind of just sound like a Troon earlier. Now you almost sound like a woman.
I do sound like a woman, yes.
No,
It's still
Suck my dick, bitch.
Well, I can still hear a bit of an Adam's apple.
It sounds like a Judi Dench GPS a little bit.
I'm gonna turn left here.
I was going to say turn left in
Turn left
5,000
here.
yards.
Wow.
U-turn.
Yeah. Or whatever the fuck they call a U-turn where you.
For those
Don't they
of
call
you
it like
that
a
don't
roundabout?
know, Arzakhan is still gay.
Why, are you interested?
Well, I mean, she wouldn't be interested in the game, man, because
Well.
that would feels a joke.
That's the joke.
Jack would, though.
This is Charles
Whatever floats
Dance.
his boat.
Okay, let's hear it. Give us some more Charles Dance, Jack.
So, Tyrion,
Say
Tell
you're
me.
not my son.
what are you going to do about your brother fucking your sister? There. Cunt.
Yeah, it's a little low, but it does sound like him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little low. What do you mean?
There we go. Now it's it
This is the
sounded almost
perfect pitch.
bassy. It was just a little bassy, I guess. That makes sense. Now it sounds better. It might have been the way you were speaking into the mic.
And yes.
There it is. That sounds
That
just like
was him.
Oh, yeah, say yes more fruity like that.
Yes.
I think the thing with Charles Dance is that he has such authority when he speaks that that's what you're really trying to capture.
Yep.
If you're going to use that voice AI.
This is the voice of Christopher Lee.
I have spent 250 hours to train the AI. Do I sound like Elon Musk?
No.
No.
Damn it.
Did you have the right
you
mic on?
I think you had the Kermit one on by accident, my guy.
No.
Yeah, I hate to break this to you, but you're all fired.
All right, good shit.
This is Christopher Lee, but when I'm doing an impression of Kermit.
Go back to whence you came.
Go back to whence you came. So you have chosen death.
It's not easy being green.
On the next episode, Elmo says
So
the racial
you
slur.
have chosen death.
On the next episode of Sesame Street, let's talk about the N-word. Wait, what?
Oh, you remember that SNL skit where they're all playing in a kids show and they all had letters to a certain word, and yeah, the one wait a minute, don't go stand over there. I'd pull that up, but every time I pull up anything SNL, I get dinged.
Yeah,
that's SNL for you.
I'm going to do one last one. This is Alan Rickman.
That one's good.
It's really robot-y, but it sounds like him.
You know what that reminds me of? It's that Family
It
Guy
is
sketch.
a little robot-y.
That reminds me of the Family Guy sketch with Alan Rickman doing his answering
Hello,
machine.
Alan Rickman. This is you, Alan Rickman.
Yep, exactly that one. I am going
All right,
to
Don't
remember
forget to take the pork chops out of the freezer.
exactly that one.
Got to give us a Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I'll give you more than Harry Potter.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'll give you a Hermione Granger.
You gotta
That sounds like a
that
threat.
P more.
Shut your fucking mouth, poof.
It does sound like the robot that he voiced from Hitchhiker. That's cool.
It does, yeah.
All right.
Terrifying.
Let's see if we got.
I don't know which one's the real Alan Rickman.
Harry Potter. My name is Alan Rickman.
Right, that's it. I'm done with it now.
Cool.
You know,
Oh God,
Disney
this is so
could
much
use
worse.
that to Disney could use that to their advantage, right? For all the animation shows, like the old Disney cartoons, just sample the old Donald Duck voiceovers. You know, so you don't have constantly have to hire people to sound like Donald, so you don't have to strain your vocal cords like. You know.
Oh damn!
Like, I can do that. I can do that.
I still can't believe you let me fucking sit there and just do that terrible voice acting without the actual voices on.
You know, it makes the build up better.
Oh, it's gonna. I'm gonna make a whole clip of it, Jack. It's gonna get 1 million views.
Well, at least my fucking camera weren't on.
That would have been even better.
Made it even funnier, honestly.
Sweet Jesus. Never been so fucking embarrassed in all my life. I didn't know where to put my face.
Tell by how confused we were.
No, genuinely, I thought you were just reacting to the voices that are generated because maybe they just weren't as good as I thought that they were. But what it turns out is you were letting me do voice acting on a fucking live stream without the AI voices there. So now I just sound like a fucking dickhead.
To be fair, I thought that David Beckham doing an Australian accent was the giveaway that something was going wrong.
Can we pull up the stream and do the part where he does Judy, whatever?
I sincerely thought you were just doing a bit. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, oh my god.
Do I sound like Judy?
Do I sound like Judi Dench?
To be fair, we thought you were being shit on purpose.
I kind of felt like when like a 12-year-old comes up to you and shows you their hidden talent, and it's just really shit. But you got to be really kind because it's a 12-year-old.
No, fuck that. They're 12. He's almost a teenager. You need to learn.
That's fucking hilarious.
That was really, really funny.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Here we go.
Only breaking at the moment that
A little bit more before that.
basically suing their teachers. I also love the Alex Jones and Space Marine videos, like or the Warhammer video.
Then they're going to find a way to and try to get away with it
I
first.
think it was shortly after
hang
that. Isn't it
on.
like the story breaking at the moment that like college
Yeah,
students
it's
are
way
basically
before that, bro.
suing their
Oh, it's
teachers
before.
for using
Okay.
on the Zoom call pretending to be Matthew McConaughey, and I deleted the files. Fuck.
All right.
Oh man. But
you.
So do we have
You have stood up against evil.
Hold on. Oh, that was you.
And Alex Jones.
Yeah, it's Alex Jones.
This one's Sean Bean.
This one, Sean B.
How does it feel to die in every movie you
Was it before that one? Or was it after that
I'm
one?
David
After
Beckham.
in every movie.
I'm trying to get to Judy Dench. Yeah, I mean, Steve, you're breaking up, Battsauce.
Jack, I'm laughing at you because I'm like, this doesn't sound like her.
He's doing short bus sounds.
Yeah, I don't think Battsauce, you're gone, buddy. You're breaking up a lot.
That's a perfect freeze frame though. Matt Damon.
Lock it in, yeah.
All right.
Like, nobody's going to be able to think. There's no critical thinking. It's just a bunch of mush. It'll be what's
It's hilarious.
Oh, that's amazing.
That bit is now pause. We were mocking.
Okay, I'll have to clip them out later.
Yeah, you'll have to clip it,
So
mate.
just a quick little announcement over there
You
on
got a toasty raid.
Rumble. We have a toasty raid of the stream.
Hey,
That's
Toasty,
fucking-
thanks so much.
Good to see you, Toasty.
Toasty, you've just missed out on a fucking gold mine of hilarity.
You have. Thanks for the raid, Toasty. We got Roadkill 101, first one in. How's it going, man?
Roadkill.
All right. So I think we've talked enough about AI.
The fucking chat is just full of Selena laughing her ass off.
Yep.
She's dying, honestly. Yep.
Oh boy.
Streamception.
Who else can I do terribly?
I will send you when I get that clipped out. I'm going to send it to you.
Please don't. I'm already dying inside. I was actually here for it, mate. I was the one doing it, you remember? So I know how bad it sounds. I don't need to be fucking reminded of it.
I think
Thanks.
you though.
And this is Judy Dench.
This is Judy Dench.
Oh my dear God.
Oh my God.
Look, don't let us interrupt the Gump having some fun over here.
Exactly.
All right.
Fucking hell.
All right, we're coming up at the 2-hour mark. So what I want to do now, we're going to go
I fucking
ahead.
hate you guys.
Hey, Jack, welcome back from your long hiatus.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, jeez, man.
I assume it's going to get even longer now.
All right, we're going to give John the floor and talk a little bit about Inker here. I'm going to put the link to the Fund My Comic in all the chats, including Rumble. I got to do that one manually. So
yeah, John, good luck following that.
Thank you. Can I do it in Judi Dench voice?
Absolutely.
I can if you like.
Deal.
No, carry on. Crack on.
Stop.
Thank you so much. Oh man, I always grab my mouse to try to guide the computer when I'm on a stream. So this is my upcoming graphic novel, Inker. It launches the epic fantasy saga Trials of Gods and Men, which has been in development for over 30 years. It's a really funny, kind of a funny story, sad story. I've been developing this story for all those years, but about 12 years ago, I realized that what I really had was a bunch of ideas and character development, and I didn't understand how to really tell a compelling story. So the last 12 years, I've been studying that, and this is the first piece that I've finally produced to a level that is better than good enough to release into the world, because everything else wasn't super. And one thing I would like to add in regards to this is for the next 48 hours, anybody in the chat or on the panel that backs the book, 10% of the funds raised will go to Iron Oxide's channel as a thank you for hosting me.
Whoa. Not necessary, but that's awesome.
A little bit of a bounty system. So here we have speaking of Smu in Germany, that if you just scroll back up there for a second, that's the cover art, and that is by Skunk Artwork, and he's out of Germany as well. And my camera doesn't have it, but it's an oil painting that's hanging in my office.
That's fucking rad.
Right in front of it. It's an incredible piece. We went back and forth probably for like 3 months before the work even began. The concept work for the book and characters was done by Rich Ayala, who did Roach Balls, and he was part of the Wazine crew. And this idea of the cover is kind of an homage to the original Star Wars movie poster, where you had Darth Vader looming in the background and then the heroes in the foreground. So instead here I flipped it, because Kintaro, that's the inker, Kintaro the Inker is the main protagonist's name. He's looming in the background with that epic scale tattoos, and then there's a face on his back, and then the girl in the foreground is the villain.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is I describe it as an urban fantasy horror story, but the I say that because the story itself is really kind of a possession horror story with set in the city of Cloud Peak, which is the preeminent city of the world I've created. And on the campaign page, I've provided the first 9 pages as a preview, and this is all done by Rich Ayala. He was initially commissioned onto the project to do the full book, but he ended up getting married and was just simply too busy with his own artwork that he's producing. I think he has Roach Balls 2 in production right now. So luckily he connected me with Juan Sanabria, who is a phenomenal young artist, and he was a real pleasure to work with. And here we have Kentaro speaking with Perfect the Pirate. Perfect is a character who will be reoccurring in later stories of Trials of Gods and Men.
I'm really digging the style you want. Like the cover is incredible for that cover art. Like I love that a lot. So that grabs you, but then the artwork inside, while not the same, I really dig the style.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do something with Skunk in the future, but he's a really busy guy. But I'd love to do a book with him. But I definitely wanted a high level of art on the interior, and obviously the cover doesn't match what's inside because it's done with as an oil painting. But I feel like Rich really delivered, and you'll see some of the art further down the page that Juan has done. So this ninja girl coming through the window, she's the same character from the cover, except on the cover she's adorned with more of a priestess garb, whereas now she's out in ninja mode, and she's coming to find Kentaro. So Kentaro's character is he's kind of a middle-aged guy like I am, and what he possesses is this ancient knowledge of being able to craft arcane tattoos, and that hence the scales on him have magic in them, and he can create magical ink that he's become quite famous for in this city of Cloud Peak. And this is why if you read when you guys get a chance to read this, you'll see that she's coming to get him to work for her. And there's some mystery, there's some seeds planted for the story in this opening 9 pages that get paid off later. It was really so much fun working with Rich. He's such a great artist. He captured everything the way I wanted. And insofar as the artistic process, I really embrace allowing the artist relative free reign in their production. And what I mean by that is I don't give them too much instruction. Like I said earlier, there's some images that I'll send, or I'll describe a little bit of what the action should look like. But then I really enjoy allowing the artists to just have at it. And that includes the colors on these pages. And the entire book is colored by Oliver Lee Ark. If you guys know him from 656 Comics, he's like 25 years in the business, and he's a incredibly talented dude. So then in that page there, we have Kentaro has opened this arcane trap, and it's released this electric cobra that's trying to kill him. And that's one of my favorite pages from the book. And then you get to know Kentaro and that he doesn't, he's not much phases him. That's, I'll say that.
It's very reminiscent of like late 90s comics almost.
Yeah, you know what? I was on a show the other night, and the host said it reminded him of like 90s Eastman, which was interesting. Because all I see is Rich in it. I don't really see anybody else, but I'm a big fan of Rich and his style. So this is a print that's going to come with every order. I call it the masterpiece print. Yeah, and so the cover is lettered. I forget the technical term for the lettering on the cover, but you'll get this without the letters. It's so, I love that piece of art, and that was actually the first thing that was really delivered to me. I was out of some black and whites by Rich, and I remember when the package came from Germany and I went to the post office to pick it up, I was so excited, and it turned out
amazing.
It turned out so well. I'm gonna be selling this independently in some different sizes, but it's gonna be coming out with the book. I believe it's an 8x10 print that's gonna be accompanying all the orders. Then if you scroll down a little bit further, this is Juan Sanabria's work, and this is on that cover. You see the face of this devil, or in the book, in the story, it's called an Oni. And part of the mythology of my world is there's a separation between what a demon is versus what a devil is. For a little bit of world building while we're here, the demons are kind of an otherworldly force, and they're responsible for like possessions and things like that. Whereas devils are these immortal creatures that live in this world, and they kind of go back to a different age from what the present storyline is. And they're incredibly powerful beings, but it plays a big part of the story, this exploration of the Oni especially. And I just love this this page. And once we're done here, I'll if you will allow me, I'll play you the video that just came in. That's my promo video. So this is
go ahead and
you want me to do that right now?
You just go ahead and have it pulled up. So once we're done looking at the From My Comic, we can go right.
She looks like she sounds like Judi Dench.
So this is a flash. This is actually page 10. So this is post explosion, and this is a flashback to Kintaro being handed over to this monastic order, which is where he learns the secret tattooing art. And the part of the imperial society that is established in my world, the various birth order of sons assigns a specific order to what your duty is in the society, and third sons are typically handed over to some form of religious institution. So in the popular religion of the land is called the Church of Orin, and that's like the kind of an all-father god that is the predominant religion, whereas these dudes are more of a different sect that they still honor Orin. It's kind of like a Greek pantheon, where instead of being, say, devoted to Zeus, you're devoted to Apollo. That kind of vibe.
Gotcha. And I take it this is a fictionalized world based on these different actual like cultures.
So it's all, this entire world is just my own experience of our world, whether it's history or it's mythology, and it's all gone through my brain and has been reproduced into a completely fictional world. Like modern, gotcha. I'm allergic to having modern politics inserted into our IPs. So this is really, I don't want to say it's like a return to Tolkien, but it's definitely just focused on a really quality, entertaining story. And this first book, like I said, it's like this urban fantasy horror vibe, but that won't carry on into the further productions that I'm going to be doing. So after this, I'm actually working right now on a novel, and that's something that is really a lot of fun, and it's part of this campaign when people back it, and that is going to allow me to explore the dichotomy between the civilization that Anchor is set in, and then going out into like the wild places of the world where gods exist and where like these devils still operate, and all the monsters and all the fun stuff that you really love about fantasy. My goal is to provide something that is like a real escape for the audience. I despise what modern media produces for the most part, like what Star Wars has become, and the live action of not Avatar, that was so, but like the One Piece on Netflix, I despise the live action One Piece.
Mhm.
And then before I do the video, we can just explore what you get. So it is
Yeah,
expensive.
there we go. That's what I was looking for. Here we
But
go.
this book, it cost a lot of money to produce, and there was a lot of time involved. So the first tier is $100, but that includes, so it says plus shipping, but it includes worldwide shipping. So you get one copy of the Anchor Legends edition, which is 72 pages, fully colored. You get the masterpiece cover art by Skunk Artworks that we saw. You get an official title certificate of legend of Trials of Gods and Men. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the title that you can get in Scotland, where you get like a certificate of I think you become a lord or
established
something.
titles?
Established titles, that's it. So it's the
yeah.
same concept, but you'll get this lovely little certificate. It's basically a thank you from me. Then you get lifetime memberships to pick up the Sword Studios Legendarium only on Substack. So what that is my novel projects. I'm going to be producing chapters, and the stories themselves will be behind a paywall, except for the people who back this project right now. And then they're going to have a lifetime membership. So it'd be the equivalent of, in 1976, giving George Lucas $100 and having access to all the stories that he produces behind the scenes. And my expectation is at least one chapter a month will be released, potentially more depending on how locked in I can be. And then the $45 or $450 tier, you'll get 5 copies of the book. You'll get 5 copies of that masterpiece cover. One great thing about this book is it can be a really nice gift for people that aren't necessarily like comic book fans, but just appreciate something cool. Because all the feedback I'm getting on the story is being quite well received. And the thing that makes me the most happiest about it is that people are rereading it, because like going through it the first time, it's not like a spoon-fed story to the reader. Like you got to really think, and you got to explore it and think about it. But then everybody's gone back through it and just really positive reviews, which obviously is great. And then you get that worldwide shipping. And then back up just for 1 second. You get a special title of certificate of Titanic Legend, rather than just the standard legend of Trials of Gods and Men. And then in that final tier at the bottom, you get 10 copies of the book, and you'll get 10 copies of that print, and then you'll get Divine Legend certificate title, and still that lifetime membership to the Legendarium on Substack, and then once again that worldwide shipping. And one thing to add, and this will go for all 3 tiers, if there's any artists who produce fan art, and there's rules at the bottom of the campaign page, they will receive 30% off the listed price. And that like I said, that's for all 3 tiers. There you go. Create fan art and save big. And there's the rules are pretty simple. You just have to post it on social media and tag me, and then they'll be sent a code through direct messenger that they can redeem on Fund My Comic. And this book is only on Fund My Comic, and that's primarily because I just really appreciate what those guys are doing in regards to platforming artists that Kickstarter or Indiegogo have been shadow banning or just refusing. I'm really pro free speech and allowing artists to create art. I don't think art should be censored. Like if you create a bad product, people just won't support it. And so if you're an artist, for $70 you can get this book delivered to your house, and you still get all those perks. You're not gonna like get cheaped out on anything. And it's 72 pages of really, really solid story, and the art is my team of, I call them my all-stars. They're so good. Domo, the brother of Oliver, is my letterer. He's won some lettering contests with his work. Oliver himself, my colorist, he recently was awarded a grant from the government of Mexico to produce an adaptation of a novel. It's about, like, it's set in the 80s, and it's centered around like breakdancing culture, but there's like criminal aspects to the story, and it's all that story is actually based in a real story, which is fascinating. And then obviously Rich, his work speaks for itself. He's been at it for quite some time, and the reason I wanted him to do this book was that he recently retired from being a tattooist, so I thought he would have really captured the vibe. And so what's funny is how it turns out is for the most of the tattooing portion of the story was done by Rich, and then at post explosion, his hair is burnt off, and he just kind of has a different appearance. So it was almost a perfect opportunity to have Vaughn come in and kill it. This book actually has like a hilariously like super Latino connection, because Rich Ayala, he's American, but I believe he's Puerto Rican. I could be wrong. And then my Oliver and Domo, they're in Mexico, and Juan is in Bolivia. And then my video is done by Pedro Caicedo, and he is from Panama. And then I have the German connection. And then my editor is Daniel Riley. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his work. He also produces his own stories. He's a great guy. And shout out to Daniel, because he got hit by a fucking car last week. And luckily he's still alive and kicking it. And he's currently reading the PDF of this book so that he can see the finished product before it goes to print. I sent it to him today, and he's like, I don't know if you heard, but I was hit by a car. Oh shit!
We're definitely wishing him a speedy recovery. And stay out of traffic.
Speedy recovery, man.
Yeah.
Now, do you have that video
yes,
ready?
Yeah, it's all loaded up.
I just linked the Twitter to the cover artist in the comments. So
great.
He's a
super,
great follow. Awesome artist.
He's the best. He put out a book called The Splash with Broken Compass Entertainment. And along with that hardcover book, which it was a children's story, if you can get it, you definitely should. He had like his art book of all of the paintings he's made in his career. And that I think it was like $10 or something. It was an absurdly great bargain. And you can see the inker cover in there, which is really, really cool. It's right next to Aaron Lepresti's Wraith of God cover that he did. It's really sharp.
Awesome.
All right.
Now, if you don't know how to share your screen, you can always put it, if it's a link and you put it in the private chat, I can share it as well.
Okay, I think I can figure out this whole share screen thing. I might be old, but I'm an old millennial, not a Gen Xer. All right, where are we? Here we go.
Definitely looks awesome. Woo! I'm going to go ahead and put the link back in the chat.
Yeah, thank you so much. And like I said, 48 hours starting from the end of the show. For anybody who backs, 10% will go to Iron Oxide as a thank you. And if anybody else is interested in having me on their channel, I love talking about all kinds of shit, especially conspiracy theories and great stories.
Oh yeah, give him a follow. I'm going to put your X account in the your X link in the chat as well, so people can give you a follow. Let's go ahead.
If you search me up on Instagram, Pick Up the Sword Studio, you'll also find me there. All right, we're ready to go.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Let's make sure you don't got them muted. There we go. All right. There we go.
Got that Mongolian band.
Yeah, that's a band called Otikin. And they are one of my favorite listens. I love to listen to music that doesn't it's not English while I'm writing. And what's awesome about them is on their official website, it even says that you should feel free to use their music in their videos or in your videos so that they get some free press. So shout out Otikin, and I shared that with my video guy, and he put that in. That song is called Legend. So for all the legends out there or aspiring legends,
awesome.
It all comes together.
Well, hell yeah, man. I really hope your campaign takes off. It looks freaking awesome. I'm definitely going to be backing it myself.
Thank you very much.
On that note, we're right a little past the 2-hour mark. Everybody's eager to get out for their 3-day weekend if you got one. So we're going to go around the horn and do some outros here. We'll start at the bottom with Arza. Where are you going to be? What you got going on, man?
Oh, just gonna be doing the normal crap every day. One video, one short video, just doing my normal stuff. News that's kind of quirky, kind of funny, kind of weird, kind of gay. And then after that, I'm gonna be on Ryan Roger Athlete, who did have his channel unceremoniously struck down recently. I'm gonna be on his show on Monday with Vaughn Coleman. Should be there at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I should also be on Touch Grass tomorrow, as far as I'm aware. And I think I'm showing up.
No.
Oh, Touch Grass isn't happening? Okay.
No, you're just not allowed there.
Yeah, it's still happening. No, I'm just kidding. no Touch Grass tomorrow. Theo's on location over doing a comedy festival in Washington.
I really even know what I'm doing until I'm actually invited to do it. So that's in that.
Cool. All right, Battsauce, what you got going on, man? Where can people find you?
Yep, got the Substack in the comments, and now my YouTube's going in there. Just sub to it. It's not going to mess with your algorithm or anything. Stop being retarded. And join me on the short bus, people, okay? And I got cool projects coming out. So sign up to my damn email list. All right, that's it.
Yeah. Awesome. Society Reviews, great having you back on. What you got coming up, man?
Not much. So go check me out on Society Reviews. I've been streaming again this week for the first time in a little bit. So we did the bar room this week every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Wednesdays we do the 01 show. That might be moving to Mondays here soon, but we're still trying to finalize all that good stuff. And then Sunday I do the Bible In show. I'm picking that back up this week. And perfect jump back on point is talking about the new Mission Impossible movie. Whether the Mission Impossible film, especially the last two movies, have been steeped in Scientology and Gnosticism. So that will be a great one to get us back into it, because there was a lot of very not so subtle stuff happening in that movie if you're actually paying attention to what you need to be. So that'll be happening on Sunday, 7 o'clock. So
that's good to know.
I will have to watch that because I didn't notice it, but I wouldn't know what to look for with that.
I'm even more tempted to watch it now.
yeah,
definitely.
It'll be a good breakdown on Sunday. Trust me.
Right on.
All right, Drunken Emerald Arrow, what you got coming up tonight, man?
Well, shortly after this, I will be heading over to Third Ralify's channel to end out their show, as then we raid into my show, insert title here, at 9:30 PST over on my channel. And since we have an extra Friday this month, because there's 5 Fridays of the month, it's not the last one of the month, so it's not a free for all Friday. Instead, we're going to play Hot Seat. I got a pinwheel or all set up, so one person will get on the hot seat and get the question and have to answer it. And then because of the holiday, we don't have Cavecast tomorrow morning, but we will pick that up the following weekend. And then Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass is also on hiatus for the weekend. But then I will be back Tuesday night for Nerds Covering the News at 5:30 PST, and then whatever may occur.
Awesome. And now for one of our special guests this evening, Smu The DJ. Where can people find you, and what do you got going on, man?
Not much really. I'm just gonna chill tomorrow for the most part, because I've had one heck of a week. So maybe I'll stream some Marvel Rivals tomorrow night. Well, night for me. It's gonna be daytime for you guys. So it's gonna be probably like 4 or 5 p.m. Central. I'm going to be streaming on the Smu The DJ channel. I'm slowly working my way to multi-stream on other platforms like Rumble and Kick. just added them to the link tree because I realized I didn't do that. So they're in there too. Follow me on Twitter as at DJ Smu, which is probably the oldest social media account I have at this point. If MySpace was still a thing, that might be the oldest one. Other than that, yeah, just keep an eye out for my little cameos. I'll be on Devil Made Me Do It's channel later on at 11 p.m. Pacific, hanging out with him for a little bit on the Beelzebub, which is going to be 8 a.m. my time. And Sunday, I will play some Final Fantasy XIV with my brother Mirden. Tommy's sadly not joining us because he decided to go stateside to visit a few peeps. And then shortly after that, probably some Marvel Ultimate Alliance number 2. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, it was awesome having you on, dude. You're welcome back anytime. If you're free on a Friday, just holler at us, and if we got room, we'll bring you in.
Sounds good.
And
Appreciate it.
let's see, Judy or Sean, JackTarLad.
Judy Tardench. Yeah, so I am JackTarLad. You can find me on all of my socials at JackTarLad. I do a show called Read and Roll on a Thursday at 10 o'clock British time. I'm putting the link to my Rumble channel in the chat there. I'm trying to build up the numbers over on Rumble. We've got Eclectic Goat on this coming Thursday, and following that we've got Magitech Mags on the next Thursday. I have done a little bit of because I'm trying to get into the Rumble Creator Program, so I did a little bit of a test stream earlier because I've been having some issues connecting through Rumble Studio, etc. Didn't go too well, gotta be honest with you. So look out for some notifications on my JackTarLad channel on Rumble, because I'm trying to get streams set up for every night. But other than that, you'll usually find me on Tomby's channel with the Hump Day Chinwag at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, 8 o'clock British time. And of course, my Read and Roll stream on Thursdays at 10 o'clock British time. In the meantime, though, I'm going to be absolutely fucking dying inside from embarrassment.
I'll remind you on Wednesday, by the way. I'll be in the chat. I'll remind you.
And yeah, so come and check me out and come and check out the clip, because for a short while whilst John was talking about his comic, I had to go back and watch that clip just to see how bad it was. It's not too bad. It's not actually as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but fucking hell.
No, it's pretty bad.
You're a bunch of bastards. You're an absolute bunch of bastards.
How do you that was what you wanted?
It was. I thought you were just working like one of the most biggest long cons ever, man. I was like, how much he came up with this whole joke and this bit on the fly. Damn.
I'm Judy.
What do we do?
Thank you for having me on anyway. Thanks for having me
welcome
on.
back, Jack.
No, I fucking am not again.
Hey guys, it's me, Sean B.
Fucking face.
This is Patrick Stewart. Engage.
The Judy dance takes it all up.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna sing the X-Men theme song.
He starts with Patrick Stewart, somebody who's also British. Like,
once he got to Judy Dench, I'm like, man, okay, now he's just fucking with us so bad.
I don't know. I think he did an amazing Mrs. Doubtfire impression.
Hello, dear. Oh, fucking hell. All right. And John, you're welcome back. Once we start seeing how your campaign goes, if you want to touch base with us, so you hit a milestone, come on and celebrate, you're always welcome to do so. Everybody go to Fund My Comic, start following this, and pick your tier and get in while you fit in, because it looks great. And I'm really hoping this, because we need more good shit, new shit out there, because
Great.
We're not going to change old media. just has to get out there and create. So
the best way to do that is to buy my books only. Me. Buy all the books you can from me.
I'm sorry, Battsauce. I think you're roboting again. I can't hear you. You're just
from as many
roboting.
people as possible.
Hi, my name is Troy McClure. You might remember me from such podcast ass.
Troy McClure. Yeah.
All right. And as for me, I've got nothing else planned this weekend. Taking the weekend off while all the other shows are in hiatus. But we'll be back next Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST for the weekly Rogues Gallery. We're back to normal. The experiment of 2 Rogues Galleries didn't work, but we will have some announcements later on down the way. We've got some actually working on a pretty big project. It's a little ambitious, might be a little costly, but excited to see where that goes, and we'll keep everybody updated. I want to thank all 666 YouTube subscribers. Thank you guys so much.
67.
Everybody on. Oh, damn it.
You
Well,
passed
thank
that.
you for that
Passed
one
that.
person who just took the mark of the beast off. But you know what? I appreciate it. And all 89.
Don't
Rumble
worry, I'll just
followers
go
out
and
there as well.
unsubscribe.
No, please don't. Please don't. It's cool. We're on the
Save
road to
us.
1,000.
Come on,
Then
we gotta
can
get
start
into
doing fun
Iron Twin
things
as soon as
like,
possible.
you shut up about
But
that.
I think I might just nuke my entire fucking channel after you release those clips.
This is so good.
No,
this
seriously,
was
Jack.
This was the
Jack.
best part of the
It
show.
was amazing.
Jack, just use that as your channel intro. Just use that as your channel intro.
Gotta lean in.
Do you know what I'm
it.
fucking reminded of? You know that Andy Kaufman skit where he's on
Yes!
stage and he's like,
Yes, that's what I thought you were doing.
You also had to blend in him previously
very
saying
much.
you can't tell the difference. Once you hear the AI, you won't be able to hear the difference when I do the voice.
I am going to do an impression of singer Frank Sinatra. Hello, I am singer Frank Sinatra.
Oh
shit.
my god.
So good.
fucking hell, I am
Outstanding.
dying inside from laughter and embarrassment.
Everyone, the stream, dude.
All right, everybody, have a safe and fun Memorial Day weekend. We'll see everybody next week. Bye for now.